Okay, it is time to start lesson 3.1. Let's go ahead and take a look here. 3.1 is graphing and writing inequalities. Now the biggest thing you're going to find about this is just like chapter 2, the only difference is we're now working with inequalities rather than regular equal signs. Let's go ahead and run through them real quick. Even though I know you know them already, we're going to do a brief review. Take a look here. This is less than. If you notice, the less than sign looks like an L. Kind of like this here, and of course I'm sure you've never seen this, do you? But look at this right here is a less than sign. Alright, so we have that taken care of. Now we have the greater than. Greater than is the other way. So if this is like an L, this is simply like a backwards L. Less than or equal to. Notice the less than or equal to. Now here would be your less than and equal to. The thing to remember is it can be either or. So it's a two possibilities. Could be less than or equal to. If either one fits, it's right. Same with the reverse side, greater than or equal to. If you notice here, a greater than sign or an equal to as well. And not equal to just means that it doesn't fit. That's all. Okay, so when we had this, let's start with 5x plus 1 equals 26. Well, okay, we went ahead and minus 1 to both sides. You got 5x equals 25. Remember, instead of times 5, we divided by 5. Do that to one side, you do it to the other. You do that, and you get 1x equals 5, or just x equals 5. This is the answer. So it's the same for this here. We're still going to minus 1 from both sides, no big deal there. And we're still going to divide 5. Notice how we started with greater than, we ended with greater than. So the answer is x is greater than 5. Any number greater than 5 would be correct. So let's just say I tried 10 in this equation here. I'll just move this over. So let's say x was 10. The question is, would this be correct? Well, 5 times 10 is 50. 50 plus 1 is 51. Is 51 greater than 26? Of course it is. So that's just an example. Anything more than 5 would do that. Question is 5 a viable answer? What do you think? Well, 5 times 5 is 25, and plus 1 is 26, but is 26 greater than 26? So the answer is no. Remember, the answer had to be greater than 5. So any number greater than 5, and we're in it to win it. Otherwise, doesn't fit in this equation. Now, while we're on it, take a look at this here. X is greater than 5. You want for just a greater than sign, and when I make line graphs, I'm not going to make you make 10 or 20 little tick marks. I mean, what for? Everyone knows what comes after a 5 and what comes before a 5. So why do I want 50 tick marks for you to show me? I know and you know both. So instead, make your line across. Just put the action point at 5. 5 is where it's all happening. But in this case here, x is greater than 5. So it's not counting 5, remember. So we have an open circle. Open circle says, well, the action's here, but I'm not a part of it. Much like a spectator at an event. They're not part of it, but they're right there with them. So x is greater than 5. Actions of 5. Greater than means it goes this way. So an arrow goes this way here. Take a look at this. X is less than 5. Doesn't include 5, but any number less than 5. So it goes this way. Take a look here. X is greater or equal to 5. Now look at the dark circle. The reason there's a dark circle there is because now we're saying, okay, it can be 5. You can include me, or it can be anything greater than. So going, from your view, this direction, I guess. And finally, x is less or equal to 5. It means I'm here and I can go less than 5. All right. Okay, you try. And go ahead and make a number line too. Let me drop the shade here just in case you can get a chance to see it. Go ahead and try to solve this time. Go ahead and pause. Hopefully you had a chance to pause, and let's see what we come up with. Basically, I'm going to minus 12 from both sides like this. And so I'm going to get 15x is greater than, it looks like 450. Then I'm going to divide by 15 on both sides. And x is greater than 30. Action's at 30, but doesn't include it. Open circle, greater than. Now, each inequality has words that represent them. If you notice here, the less than just writes less than. Greater than is greater than, or it means more than. So when you see the word, excuse me. When you see the word less than, if you see the word under, it also means less than. If you see the word greater than, it also could mean more than or over. If you see the words less than or equal to for here, you might have the words like no more than. Now that's where a lot of people get confused. When they see no more than, they see the word more here and they're like, oh, that must mean greater. No. No more than means you can't go past that. If I said you can have no more than 5 guests at a party, you can have 5 or less. I know the word more kind of tricky that way, but if I said you can have no more than 5, means you have 5 or less. Also the word maximum. The maximum you can have is 10 of something, so you can have 10 or less, and the other words at most. You can have at most, 4 slices of pizza, so it'd be 4 or less. Take a look here. That'd be a terrible rule for me. I like pizza. Now, looky here, you have a greater than or equal to. So other words you can use for greater than or equal to, we have no less than. So I'd say, look, I want no less than 4 home runs for the team today. So you can say that, so I can have 4 or more. I would say at a minimum I want 8 free throws made in the game. And at least, I want at least $1 million in my bank account by tomorrow. But that may be a long shot. Now let's dissect this word problem. Now you can go ahead and turn on to page 170. It says athletes may weigh no more than 165 pounds. Now, not all sports are like this, but a few sports like wrestling, you do have to have a weight limit. So you don't want to have a 300-pound boy wrestling a 95-pound kid. It just wouldn't work out too well. So you want to have them in, you want to have them in groups. Although my warning to all wrestlers is please be careful with dieting. Try not to have crash diets or fad diets. It's very unhealthy. Steady, healthy weight gain or loss in a sport is okay, but please don't try to hit higher lows. Now, athletes may weigh no more than 165 pounds. Athletes is who we're talking about, but I don't know their particular weight for each one, so I'll put X. No more than means that much or less, and 165 is our target mark. Now, if I wanted to make a line with that, I'd just go ahead and do this. I'd say, okay, well, here's my line, and here is my middle mark, and I'm going to say, okay, 165. And since I have 165, I can have that much or less, so I'm going to go ahead and make a dark circle, which I will do here. And a line saying I can go less than that. And there you have it. That's how you'd graph it. Now you try. Make the equation and draw the line graph. And I guess I'll hold it here. Of course, everyone probably saw it already. The president must be at least 35 years old. Important as you'd have to take the Constitution test at the end of the year, so it's good to know that. But how would you make the equation and draw the line graph? Well, if you hadn't seen it before I closed the screen, go ahead and try it this time. Okay, let's take a look what you did. I have here X is greater or equal to 35 because you can be 35 or greater. As a president, if you're 35 or more, you can be president. So 35, my action line, and you're going greater than. And that's really all we need for now. So go ahead and try go ahead and try the U-tries you've seen, and we'll go ahead and do the rest in class tomorrow. Shorter video today. I know it's better for some of you guys. Thanks again. Bye.